You sailed away and left me with nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
Listeners out there in YouTube land, this is the Recovery Room on WRBA. Hey, listen, guys, I encourage you guys, if you would, to go to your YouTube station, type in WRBA
Turn your mic up.
1075, and you can see our YouTube live feed, which is actually a 2 or 3 camera shoot, which is very, very awesome. Can you hear me over there, Don?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well,
this
is what we got. This is all the mains. This is all the juice I can give you.
That's not you, man.
Okay. So listen, we got some special guests coming into the house tonight. We'll figure that out. But once again, this is the Recovery Room on WRBA 107.5. Got my man G-Man in the house, and we got some other special guests coming in. Let me see who we got. We got the Steinfeld folks. You guys are gonna have to introduce yourselves hey, listen, you guys go and make sure you check us out on the live feed on YouTube. We got our special guests in the house, and you can get a better shot of everybody. Because right now I got the computer on me, because you know how much I love me some me, right?
Yeah, there you go. I need
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Sorry. I'm there. Yeah.
So how you guys doing?
Great. How you all doing?
Well, we're
Good,
doing
thanks.
awesome. Why don't you guys introduce yourself? I didn't get a whole lot of prep on this. I know that you guys have been working with G-Man on a foundation of some sort, and I just need to know more about G-Man. Why don't you do the introduction?
Hey, you for those out there in the world don't know the Seinfeld group. The Seinfeld group is a very important group out here in the world, and when you say Seinfeld, you're talking about Jerry Seinfeld, their family, and likewise. And one of the major people in that foundation is a good friend of mine's. His name is Jason Seinfeld, and Jason Seinfeld, and for those that don't know, the TV world was the star on Days of Our Lives. He played Jake.
Days of Our Lives. Played Jake. Jake, didn't you die?
Let's clear up a couple
Well,
of things.
Jason has 9 lives.
This is your introduction.
Jason
Didn't you die,
Seinfeld.
Jason?
Jason Seinfeld, our foundation is really based on our family, which is the Seinfeld Group Southwest, just so we get everything right. Second of all, we did do many different things, from acting, modeling, and different things. So, those were attributes from the past. Now I ran a financial company, which I still do now in today's times, and we like to go focus with our process of now. However, just to talk a little bit about our foundation and who we are.
And that's why. And wait a minute, we got another guest in the house. Let's
Absolutely.
make sure we're not being disrespectful.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm
Hi,
with the
Jessica.
Seinfeld group also.
Jessica
Okay.
who?
Jessica Montalvo.
Okay, great. And you're with the Seinfeld group too?
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the foundation. And you guys know that our show here is.
Oh, we got one more member. We got to talk
all
with
right.
one more
Yeah,
member
we
of
gotta
the
bring
family.
Tara
We have
and
my
also his
sister,
sister.
and we have our team.
We got Tara Seinfeld, if I can say it that way. She may be married and all that, but today she's Seinfeld, Tara Seinfeld as well. We're gonna try to get her up here to say hi, at least something.
Yeah,
She's trying to be shy back there.
She's got some kind of live feed or something going on over there.
Hey, and we also have our team a little bit, Jessica and Jason, Lynn.
No, that's Amy over
We
there.
got
I'm,
Amy-
I'm Jessica.
Amy and
I'm
Jessica.
Jessica.
Yes, I'm sorry. Let me correct it.
It's a whole entourage. When they show up,
Amy
they
and
show up
Jessica.
deep.
Yeah,
Jessica
no,
and G.
Amy and-
man, y'all showed up in Philly. We got a
All right,
house
so-
full in here.
It's been one of those early days today. It started like nonstop.
Yeah,
We're so busy
listen,
with such
man,
great
you
things.
talking to us.
I hear you.
Hey, so we can get them a little background on how this stuff started, and then we're gonna go right to Jason, and then to Tara.
Right.
Excuse me, to Jessica.
You're doing it now.
Yeah, so when they show up deep, and when I say deep, they're like Greg Louganis of the world. You know what I mean? Deep. You know, but when I came down here a few weeks back, and I came down for a few days vacation, and I thought I was going to be on vacation, but I ended up doing them up to like 8 shows or something like that, just constantly doing things. And then the more you do things, the more people take your relevance serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Mr. Seinfeld got a hold of me and got in touch with me, and we built a rapport and a relationship as far as business is concerned, and it was just phenomenal. I got to meet the whole family, and from one thing led to another, from the spirituality like we talk about every day on the Recovery Room to business endeavors. And when I met Mr. Seinfeld, it was like a match made, and they say like heaven. The rest is history, but I'm gonna let him get into you and tell you in specifics on what we got going on about the foundation, because this foundation is unbelievable. Now y'all know I do the ALS every year, I do the Special Olympics, and I do things, but this foundation is kind of touching me in a special way. So I rolled over like a little puppy and said, I'm gonna go on do the dang thing and get them together. So Jason, tell them extensively what the Seinfeld Group and the foundation is really all about and what we got coming up.
Well, we're many parts, so I'll talk basically about the foundation. My parents started their own personal foundation, which was called the Lear Educational. Lear Educational is not only just a foundation; it was a school from 1930 that went on when it was a very prominent school in Miami Beach, Florida. The artists, a lot of famous people came out of it, which I think was back then was Forte Towers, which they tore down in Miami Beach. Property was sold off, and the son and his new wife, from being at a boarding school, then took it on between Biscayne Boulevard, between the Cricket Club and the Jockey Club. Then the school had the matron had died, and her brother took it over. He was a very well-known attorney who handled all the mob people back in the day in Miami Beach. My father, then with him, he was my great-grandfather's attorney for many, many, many years. So we had this foundation, this corporation and school sitting there for so long, and we decided that we wanted to use it because it had an educational historical background. So then we took that, and my parents did where they, if you survived cancer, we were very big in the cancer organization. For their own personal self, if you survived cancer, they built you a school. They did different things where they, would put you through school if your child survived. Apartments, a lot of different things from it. I'm not expecting anything back in return. And having a whole entire family with different forms of cancer, and my father being a very well-known doctor. Not only did they do that, we worked on many different other stuff with other groups and people, and we just wanted our stuff to go right to the cause, not to everyone's pockets. Right. So we then, my parents were getting older, and my brothers and sisters and I decided to reorganize, and we wanted to run it more of a corporation and a business, and we wanted to change it where losing our youngest cousin to opioids, and he died recently, so it's very dear to our heart. So we got our father to donate large property up in Ocala, which is very prominent property, which is where the expansion of the airport that is desirable. And we wanted to build a facility to change, revolutionize the treatment, because we feel about Howard Gardner, who is a linguistic, through education where people learn visual and audio, to say you never, and everyone, certain treatments have been placid for so long that we wanted to take our treatment to be different. People working with music, but we wanted to design each person a different program, and understand that person and understand how you're gonna change your life. Then we wanted to line it up with such great people, bringing my friend over here that is involved with such great rapping music that I used to sing as a child, and and then I'm like, who is he? Because he's so great, Mr. G Max. G-Man. I know G-Man. I was just teasing. You gotta be a little funny.
You guys know who G-Man is by now. He's been on about 4 times. And so you know that obviously the recovery room is based on trying to help individuals get the information and the treatment and the things that they need. And you know, statistically, and when you start talking about treatment, statistically, there are about 24,000 treatment facilities in the country, and the success rate is running at about 10%. Some of them get a success rate of about 10%.
Right.
Most people who go through treatment, they relapse within the first year, most within the first 30 days. And so treatment is a big part of the recovery process, but it's that next phase is which I found out is the most important part of it, because you know, one of the main things in the rooms of NA are people, places, and things. And so when these people get out of treatment and you hit that hard concrete again, and you have to deal with reality, because when you're incarcerated or you're in the treatment facility, that stuff is not around. Well, I found out recently it still is, but that's a whole nother story. But when you come back out on the street, the only people that you got left are those same people, your drug dealer or you know, your ex-girlfriend who got you in the first place. And so I'm really pushing the recovery in. And so is the facility that you're talking about, and it's in Ocala, is that what they're looking at too? I know we're talking treatment, but what about after the treatment?
Well, just so you know, we're in our preliminary phases where we're donating the land. We've been aligning with meeting with different churches as well and different facilities, and putting together a whole team. And we want to make sure our treatment is where it's very different than what everyone else has done. And we want to do also people that were in the military. And then we want to also make with the land, because we have a lot of different other land in Ocala. We wanted to build homes, and we wanted to build people that could still be connected after, so they have a support system.
You got to have a support system when you get out.
Absolutely, with restaurants, but not like almost like it's like a hospital feel. You get back to real life, but there's there, where you can connect and you need help, and people still need support. And one big thing that people do forget is so important. It's like people do sometimes make mistakes, but it's how you rise. Yeah. And you know what? You don't have to live for your mistakes and be punished. You got to go on. That's why Sarasota, we're bringing it here. We want to bring Sarasota taking care of their own, and we're starting it out here with uniting.
Let me tell you that this building that we're sitting in right now, the design for this building is for it to be a recovery center. The offices up front, our idea is that we want to have all the services that are necessary. That's like job training and all that stuff that's right here in this building, residential facility. So it may be something that we.
I saw that when we came in.
Well, we're looking to grow. And we're looking.
This could be the place, because that's the reason that this radio station is here. Because I was doing a recovery room at another place, and the guy heard about it, and he called me one day and said, "Hey, I got this building here. He's thinking about doing release from prison, but you got an addict that sits in prison for 5 years. The first thing they want to do when they get out is get high. I mean,
I hear you, and that's okay. You know what? And if you do it, as long as you get back on track. Because to say that you're never you have a diet. Some people do so great, they follow that diet on a Monday, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they could do really good. Somebody eats a French fry and they mess up on a Tuesday, but that doesn't mean you have to keep trashing yourself. Get back on the next meal and do good. Exactly. So that's what our whole philosophy is.
Well, that's great.
And you know what we wanted to say about with G-Man and why we're connected, and we have a bond, and you as well, we're about people that have heart.
Yeah.
You understand? You have to have heart. And if somebody has heart, you're going to do good, and that's going to make a change.
The thing that's so significant that I like is, like, I always say it, and I say it often. Like the devil always try to remind you of what you've done.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you've been. But see, my philosophy, like he using his word, is when the devil remind you of what you've done and where you've been, you remind him where he's going. You know what I mean? Because the fortitude of some of these people are kind of weak now when they're coming out from and trying to recover from all the accolades. When you say that of their drug use and their drug abuse, they don't, like you said, they don't have the support system. So it's so important for us as a community to show the support so that we can help uplift them, because a lot of people don't need a handout, they need a hand up.
But you know what also too, then their insurance runs out and then they're gone, and and that's it. Gone, forget about it.
Have insurance. We gotta deal with the people who don't have insurance in the first place, which is one of the major obstacles that we deal with treatment.
Absolutely.
If you don't have recovery, it's hard to get into a treatment facility. And so that's a whole nother political and.
Well, if you go on politics just a little bit, I worked on the Hill for Steny Hoyer, the Democratic caucus. Mm-hmm. And one thing I learned when I went to college, I wanted to be a politician. I wanted to make a change. And I thought the first day, I started, the lady yelled at me because of the House of Congress, screaming at me, saying, "What did you do? You walked in?" I said, "Ma'am," I said, "don't talk to me like that. It's my first day. You teach me, I learn. But I want to make a change." And you got to work together.
Yeah.
People have different views and different things, but you got to work together.
Absolutely.
And remember, the people, we want to hear your views too, and we want you to show appreciation for us as we show appreciation for you. So you can always call in here at 941-986-6657. That's 941-986-6657. So it's okay to call in. Jason is here. He will say hi to you if you're a fan. I'm here. I'm gonna always say hi to you. And if you don't call, I'm gonna do something to you like Bernie Mac. I'm trying to tell you that right now. And we got, of course, T-Bone here that'll be able to help you and guide you on how to get in touch with us if you need help want to help with the foundation, if you want to donate to the foundation, because believe it or not, every little bit helps. If you want to donate, it's all just call in and we'll make sure that it get to the right resources, to the right people. That number is 941-986-6657. Tara, what do you want to add about the foundation and the upcoming events that we got going on?
I'm still Jessica.
Oh, excuse me. I did it again. She's gonna be Jessica.
We all went through the drug treatment
So
program.
good.
Excuse me. But Jessica, what do you want to add about what we got going on? We got a lot of things in the fire.
We do. We want everyone to stay tuned. Our first event will be with G-Man, and we will be announcing that soon. And we will then be doing a ton of events after that. And we're hoping G-Man's going to, stay in Sarasota for a while.
If they find me a place to stay, because everybody is in here, I'm still living on the beach. It's fun now. I like living on the beach and in a nice environment. But we got to get a home. And I'm being blackmailed to stay. So
Well, what's there not to stay? It's the
Blackmail?
most beautiful place. Let me just say
Twisting his
something.
arm.
Florida. There's many places in Florida, and you got the 50-mile that has the dunes. All right,
Yeah.
Alice Island.
look, they selling me now. Anybody else want to sell me on watch?
Well, I mean, living in SRQ.
The rivers
Feels
and the
like you're on
beach,
vacation
everything's
every day,
beautiful.
so.
I had Jason in the background saying the beach is good.
But you got to remember about Sarasota. You got to be with the original people, because those are who made up Sarasota. The new people got to come and they got to get correct.
Yeah,
Don't forget.
You're right. You're right.
Sarasota.
Hey, that's kind of deep. I want you to touch on that in a minute, but Jessica, go into a little. I know you're saying I got stuff, and I'm committed. So you got me. Around my schedule to make sure that I change up some things to make it go. But touching them, and we was talking today about bringing in certain groups, maybe the Motowners, and doing some big things.
We did, yes.
Yes.
Well, you did a show with them previously.
I did quite a few shows.
So we were
with them
wanting
guys.
to do maybe a little throwback to something like that, a special evening where you would be entertaining us.
The Motowners is where you get the review of the Temptations, the Supremes, the Four Tops, the Spinners, Marvin Gaye. I mean, you get this group this tour that I had put together called G-Man and the Motowners.
You didn't say that name. You never said Marvin Gaye.
I was holding some things back.
Okay, well now I'm gonna work even harder now. I'm moving the date up.
A little louder.
Let me make this announcement to you guys. First of all, someone asked me on my live feed if you've asked John Travolta for any help. Because John lives in Ocala.
Yes, John is a very wonderful man. His mother was a teacher for theater, and John has done wonderful things. It's sad, people, the BS and the gossip. I used to get the Enquirer. My friend Paul Poe, his father, used to own the Enquirer. He used to get calls every day. And what about this? And they would say, and I would say, I would only say good. So I say bad, even if you know it. But anyway, John is a great guy. We haven't really worked together. I have some friends that have, and we've had opportunities. And Thomas Cruise, or the fourth, which is Tom Cruise.
Thomas Cruise.
He was dyslexic and or ADD, and he had some great dyslexic thing, and he does such wonderful things. We're open. We're open to.
But John Travolta, for some that don't know, I was a bodyguard for 28 years when I got tired of the garbage in hip hop, and I took a hiatus from the actual culture. But I came back to the culture that I started in Name back in 1975, and I actually had the pleasure of bodyguarding John Travolta a few times. So I got that little connection, and I'm quite sure, John, if you out there listening, we had a blast, and we did.
I know what y'all did. I ain't gonna
Call
tell
us,
nobody.
John.
Hey, listen,
941-986.
if you guys want to see the rest of the people in the room, go to YouTube,
6657.
go to the search bar, type in WRBA 1075, and there's a red icon will appear. Click on that, and then you'll be able to go to the live feed. We got a 2-camera feed. You can see all the other people in the room. I know how you guys like looking at my lovely face on here, but there's some other pretty people in the room. And go to that YouTube channel. That's WRBA 1075.
Men don't
and
use
you can
pretty.
see-
Men
you
don't
can
use
see
pretty.
and hear everything here and everybody that's in the room. It's very appropriate for you guys to have a foundation that is about this and that has evolved this, because you see, cancer is a disease and so is addiction. You know what I mean? But they're treated completely different. The stigma that is attached to addiction is something that has to be addressed first of all, because it's like that. Every addict is just morally corrupt or criminally minded, but it doesn't until it happens, until it to one of your family members or yourself or somebody else is in fact, and you see that it is an average person or even an above average person or a doctor or a lawyer. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic background. This thing affects just about everybody.
Right. And just how people learn in different ways, people also are going to accept and adapt to only certain different types of treatments.
Exactly.
What works for someone doesn't work for anyone,
That's
someone
right.
else.
Individual
So-
treatment.
Yeah.
And,
What you were saying,
and
Jason?
what really makes us different, the Seinfelds, and who we are. Our father being a doctor and our mother being, was a famous model, beautiful.
Still
But
beautiful.
but we were raised about, there's one God. We all worship Him in our own way.
Mhm.
We all believe the same.
Mhm.
There's no, because social, economic. We didn't come from money. You know what I'm saying? We worked hard. We
Can't
always
tell
believed
that
you
now,
could do
though.
it. We always believed that you could do it. It's just about drive and feeling good. And sometimes you get depressed. You got to pick yourself up, and you just got to keep going, and you just never give up.
I want to say something about their family. You know what I mean? I knew them for a short time, but I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of people that talk the talk, but then there's some people that knows how to talk the talk, but walk the walk.
Right.
When I walked into these people's home for the first time, called in for a meeting to meet with the family, it was like a total embracement. It was like a metamorphosis walking through the threshold from a hardship world life to walking into, is this really going on? And they embraced and they opened their heart and they opened their home and they want to work with people. See, it's the difference. Some people, they don't want to work with people. They act like they do. They put the facade on like they want to. As soon as you leave, it's a different story. But the work ethic in this family, I mean, I'm in there and it's like the house is just a house of cards. It's like they run it, and this guy's on the phone 24 hours a day. The dad's running, getting all the errands and bringing in this and doing that. The mom is like walking through with her spirituality, and she looks like a walking model. And she
does.
She's so beautiful. And my daughter got on my daughter got on the phone with her, and she's like, she can't wait till my daughter comes. My daughter thinks she's a diva, all beautiful and all that. Well, she is. I ain't gonna take. She's very gorgeous, and she's very talented. But the fact that they are willing to help people,
Well, I mean, that's
Genuinely.
what's gotta happen.
And they make you feel at home.
But
They're very-
when we first
I
went
vouch
to your
for
wife,
everything you
we
just
felt the
said.
same connection.
yes,
And also many people that are friends of mine don't understand when I want to take them in and I want to help them, take them to the next level. They don't understand. They think it's like, oh, you're doing this, or they don't believe. But I want to help them. I want to make everyone great if I can.
But let's also add the reality of that side. You cannot help everybody, because some people can come along like leeches. Some people can come along and have a facade that
Well,
they
people
really
have to
want to be with
help
you,
themselves.
but they also, you
Sure.
got people that wants to take. It's a
Right.
sponge. They take your energy, they take your positivity, and they put you in back from whence you came, and they do it vicariously. And if you're not smart enough, like I'm quite sure our team here is, if you're not smart enough, you can get caught right back to where you came from.
But I hear you, and
and
it's right.
that's life.
It's
we
life.
we all live and learn, and
Right.
life is a
But
journey.
you know what? I believe in karma, and it might not happen right away. But you know what? It's their loss.
Yeah,
They're missing out.
yeah.
And some of the people may not ever wake up and see all the good.
Yeah.
And, and that's
And
sad.
hopefully we all do. Hopefully
But we
we
try.
forever want to be
Right.
evolving in our
If we
lives.
could do all do a
Well,
little bit better.
it's actually gone from an opioid or drug epidemic
Yeah.
to an overdose epidemic.
It
Because
has.
right now,
Right.
with the advent of fentanyl, people are not just getting high; they're getting
They're
high
dying.
and dying.
Yes.
Right. That's a sad
at
part.
at a record rate. It used to the options used to be get high or stay clean. Now the options are stay clean or die because it's
Yeah.
Well, they have the salad bowl thing.
Yeah,
where
the
the
stuff
kids
that-
put all the
the
pills
Skittle,
in.
the Skittle
Crazy.
parties. I mean,
You know that?
and so it is up to us to create a new culture. I believe that there is going to be a revival of the human spirit. I believe that we're going to wake up out of this one nation on the sedation thing that we found ourselves in here lately. And then it will be not so cool to get high. There'll be not so many reasons to try to run from the pain and the realities of your life and to use drugs. I mean, this is
That's
our
exactly
culture.
what it is. That's where
know.
people turn to drugs.
You know,
Yeah, you nailed it.
not to cut you off, we have many companies, but we were Citadel Financial, which we did very great things for people with projects and help them, obtain funding and grow their companies. And we are now, we sold out in a private deal. Now we are Halo 18, which we restarted, 3 guys and I as well. And the reason it's Halo 18, because, come and do your project, because we want to, donate a certain percentage
Mhm.
for everyone that we
Back
help,
to the community and to
to our foundation. And that's what we drive for, our
All right.
foundation.
Hey,
Let me see, because we sitting here, we're talking, and we're all in this, and we got other people in the room. But see, this is what we call the recovery room, and we want some genuine questions. Tara, you're the sister of Jason. I mean, just from your own words, you can yell it from over there. We can hear you. What's it like being a part of a family? Being a part of a family that is trying to do so much for the community.
It's a wonderful family. We love to help people.
They didn't hear you. Guys, step right here.
And it's
Family that really
speak into the microphone.
You got to speak into the mic. We got it.
We're all together, our family. We're on
Tara's an
the same
entrepreneur herself.
We
a
might
very
fight.
strong,
We might have our
driven,
issues.
successful
We
woman
might not talk
also.
for
And
days.
then
Go to
Beautiful as her
YouTube. Go to
mother.
YouTube. You got to
Okay,
go
now
to the
what was you
YouTube
saying?
feed.
What was you saying?
it's all about you. It's a family that's always giving back and wanting to help the community and people out who need help, to support with care, with a heart.
How many do you do? Your the department and her thing that she does, your background.
I'm Tara.
You got to speak into the microphone a little bit.
She a little shy,
Dr.
y'all.
Tara, Dr. Tara.
Jason. Go ahead.
And I've spent most of my career in higher education, helping students, developing strategic partnerships with corporations,
That's
companies, foundations, schools, school districts. And now I'm helping people transform their lives by reinventing and relaunching careers.
That's awesome.
Wow.
To support what they're doing. And it's just really wonderful to help people with their journey, and ask them questions and help them to find where they want to go.
Sure.
Because we all have that in us. We just need the confidence, and a little TLC, a little tender love and care to help and support that. And that's very much what the foundation is all about too, and what Jason and his team have been working on. Is to support and give back to the community. And if anyone's out there, they should just reach out. And we're really
Pretty much our mother is our strength too. She always taught us never to give up. It doesn't matter. Like even if you're sick, you don't give up. Don't pull that plug because you can
Yeah,
get
because you had surgery.
right.
And I
You just
see
keep fighting to the top.
Yeah, he just
You
had
don't
back
give up.
surgery
Right.
like
No,
4 or
hold-
5 weeks ago.
Before we miss this, it gets off my mind now. We've talked a lot about the foundation, but how do people get in contact? I mean, is there some a website or?
Well,
is there,
we're bringing the foundation to Sarasota, and we're going to be introducing it very soon. And like I said, G-Man will be our big first event that we're going to be presenting the foundation to Sarasota with.
Okay.
And we will be having G-Man, announce everything once we have all the details.
Right.
That means
Set
he's gonna
and
give
confirmed.
you a lot of the bump, skippity bump,
I mean,
skippity bump, hump.
I mean,
And then Jason, Jason is a new part of I'm assuming the circle here now, and I just because he's here, and the reason why I'm asking him this question is because you can get it from the sister who may be a little biased, you can get it from Jason who's very biased, you can get it from Jessica who may be on the team, and myself who was the new product of what they're pushing along with the foundation. But Jason, as a friend and as a partner and as a buddy to the family and seeing what's going on in the family, how does it feel working with the Seinfeld Group? I know you're an entrepreneur, but you know what I mean. But how does it feel to be embraced and to be working with the Seinfeld family and organization?
It feels great. Just in the short time that I've been around them in the past week or so, It's been incredible, just the way the family works. And you're right. The mom is definitely a sweet lady.
Yeah.
She's.
Yeah, I told her
Wow.
I got
She-
in my bag a bunch of belts in case y'all act
I was
up,
thinking
so-
I was thinking the same thing when you said that. I was like, yeah, definitely has that right.
She definitely is.
And believes that anyone can be what they want to be.
They just have a
Never
nice,
give
And
up.
nice
Never
energy,
give
you know?
up.
Exactly.
That's
That
what
positive
defines
energy
yourself.
you
good,
Never,
good
never,
vibes,
never give up.
you know.
Hey, Jake, because this is for the sake of today's show, for this particular person, you, Jake.
Yeah.
She tells me that, and a little story for to the side. She tells me that Doug and Judy, Bill and Susan Hayes from Days of Our Life were in town. Remember these people?
Yeah, so that's why we have to get our little career a little correct, because we have done different things and stuff. And the other day, G-Man called my name in different things. But it's been a long time in Hollywood. I had a show called Chat and Caviar. I was a model for Ford. I did a lot of different things. I left Hollywood, and different things. But my dear friend Dean Zanuck, his grandfather was 20th Century Fox. I speak to him every day. We're working on different things and stuff. But I don't want people to focus on, like, my mother was a famous model, and people say, oh, you're related to this, but he's my distant cousin on this side,
Which
and the other doc is a distant cousin on this side, or but that's not who we are.
They like
Right,
they love
right.
that you
Right,
were Jake.
and that-
That's all. They
and-
just
and
love
you know
that
what?
you were Jake.
And that's great, but you know what? Many times I've been in Sarasota here, and they want to interview me for certain things, but I want you to interview me on what we accomplish.
Yeah.
He wants
Not-
that individuality.
Right,
listen,
Hollywood and things.
Guys, you heard it here
Right.
first.
Right, on my business, on who I am, what
But
I
I feel,
believe.
we can really relate to that,
Right,
because
you know.
I don't want people to base my past history of what I did with the Sugar Hill
Right.
family or what I
Right.
did with Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock.
Right.
I want them to understand who G-Man is and what
I-
God's man
Yeah,
brings
and
to
I,
the table.
and I totally
you know what I mean?
agree.
And I think, when I was doing, film and different things with JJ Wheeler and different things, I was never in touch with my inside. It was my outside. But as you get older, things change. And then, I didn't really know who I was in the inside. Once you know who you are, somebody's going to have a better car, somebody's going to have more money or this and that. And you get to reality, the real world, where all the money in the world, it might take you somewhere to help you with medicine, but it can't save your life. It might make it better. But the thing is, when you get to reality and the real thing, that's why doing the foundation and helping, right, Jay?
That's what I was gonna say. Since I've known you, I haven't heard anything about money, and I truly think that this foundation is not about money for you. It's just
Hey, but I'm from the hood. I'm
Yeah.
from the hood, so I got
Hood's
to
good.
respond to that. The hood is
They
all
got the
good.
best
But-
restaurant.
Yeah, but
Let's
wait,
not
wait,
get
wait,
money-
wait.
hang out with.
You know where I'm
Let's not
going to
get
go.
money. Let's not get money twisted.
Wait. He said no. Jason is.
I think he has
I've
more
never
better
heard it.
things he could
I've
do to
never
make
heard
money
it.
than that. You
I've
know?
never heard him say talk about
It's
money.
like
I never really heard his mom, and nobody in there
I
talk
go to
about
the
none of these things.
friends in the
But
hood.
from the less fortunate standpoint, people that have money would say that.
yeah,
The ones that are trying to just get a sandwich for the day, they understand that money is not life, but it's the closest thing you're gonna get to oxygen to sustain you in their book. So you know what I mean? I've had money. I've had plenty of money. This is my 7th time coming back, and the 7th time is God's completion
Right.
number. And now the difference between then and now is not about the money no more. It's about the relationships. It's about the
Yeah.
growth, and it's about the
It's
community.
so important, because you know what? When you
That's-
learn about
yes.
different
And
things
living,
like
family.
travel, and you get to see the world, because everything you can buy, you can have hundreds of cars and shirts and things or whatever, but you leave that behind. You leave
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
behind. You can't take your Cartier bracelet with you. You
Yeah.
can't take your Ferrari or Porsche or your Buick or your Cadillac or whatever. It's
Now, one
essentially-
guy did though. He buried
right?
himself with
But I'm
the
saying,
car.
but you can take your knowledge, you can take your spiritual.
I had a dude said, man, I wonder how much money Howard Hughes left.
Oh, we
And
have
he
a
left-
friend.
he
Howard
left
Hughes' son
it.
is
Yeah,
here.
it's Howard
The answer is he left it all.
Today.
Yeah, that was actually we was with Howard Hughes' son today
Yeah.
at the see when you in around these guys, man, it's like are you for real? And no, back let me do some Ebonics. Are you for serious? You know what I mean?
You know the answer to how much he left, right? The same amount you gonna leave.
All of it.
but you want to hear something, you realize, it's so sad. Like, people, it's so great. Like in business, like we have all different kinds of people,
I will, Dan.
and it's so great I think to be exposed to all different kinds of people and all different kinds of things.
Everyone brings something different to the
Right.
table.
I mean, and today, like everyone's going to be mixed eventually.
Yeah.
And that's why there's different diseases and stuff. I mean, if people haven't moved on from that stuff, You know what I mean? And like the thing that's, I don't want to get into politics, but things that are going on, it's like, why are we not making changes? Yes, okay, this one's no good, that one, whatever, everyone has their belief, and that's okay. You know, and I was just in Washington, and I was with a wonderful man for, I think Al Sharpton or Don King, because I know them both. He was doing some kind of thing, and he explained to me about on this conversation. And he said, well, you know, when we work with the parents, you know, this parent's right about their child, and that parent's right about that child, and that's how we work together, because they are right in their belief.
Yeah,
but we
what
have
they
to come
believe is.
together, even though we might not like it, and we have to make a difference, and we have to spend that time.
That calm
not
and-
what
that
we're
calm
doing.
and balance.
Not what we're doing.
Yeah,
we
you
have
know,
to accomplish.
and you
things.
know what he was saying about people. One day is everybody's gonna be mixed. Let me break that down in some biblical terminology so you can understand. Yeah, I got my doctorate in theology. It's the
Right.
theology of
I
music.
know, we
So
heard
I'm a
all
doctor
that.
too. You know, but what I want to say is that for those that are true believers that read the book, you understand. In the book, they said that there was a great flood, and in that great flood, when Moses and his family actually had the boat, if you will, docked or stopped, and then his 4 sons, left the boat with their wives and their families. They took the 4 corners of the earth. So just being with that point, if Moses was the last ones on earth, and his 4 sons took the 4 corners going east, west, north, and south, then we are already mixed. Because we're all extensions of all them 4 sons, regardless to the fact.
Well, I like all kinds of food.
Now you talking about food.
Oh my God! Well, it's all based around food. You know?
Yeah.
all based
And I
around
love to go. You know, see all different kinds of walks of life.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
know what, y'all? If you want to see Hollywood, come to my friend Jason Lynn. This is Mr. Hollywood. He's,
Yeah.
you know,
But Jason,
Well, he
seriously,
sure know
though,
how to party. I give him
another-
that.
Another question, and we kind
Yes.
of talked about it,
uh-huh.
and maybe you're still developing it.
Cheap
But someone here asked me, "What is the mission statement?" And I know that is a big, broad
now,
question, but
now and I answer that. Now, if
Yeah.
y'all didn't get by all this time talking our mission statement,
Right.
y'all got to go back to school. Let me explain it, but I'll break it down for you because
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
wrapping.
Break it
We're
down.
gonna break it down. It's about
explain it to like
All right.
a 3-year-old.
it's about God, about having heart, good people, making a change, doing a different kind of treatment. Not the same that's been done for years,
There you
right?
go.
Bringing God in, you know, of all kinds of gods, you know, and you know, just trying to make a difference. You know, hey, we don't swear to be the best, but we're sure it's going to do the best we can. And we want to help all of you, but you know, the best we can, you know, and we want to not make waste, and we want to try to do something different. So I guess, you know, if they sum it up,
Yeah.
I'll say is, you know, it's just helping somebody and
Yeah.
helping the neighbor. You know, you remember that movie with the guy that old time people used to watch, and it was Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and helping your neighbor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or Kennedy used to say, you know, and Martin Luther King was about peace.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess our whole philosophy is, you know, we know you're going to mess up, and to say you're never, that's not realistic. You know,
Right.
like you
We
get back and
never
keep
will
trying.
You learn things in life.
You learn.
Listen, and then let's talk about something that is that's very prevalent in this conversation. We talked about insurance already, and believe you know one of the
Right.
things that's happening. There's a whole bunch of insurance fraud.
Absolutely, it's so
Man,
sad. That's horrible, isn't that?
It's a
Horrible.
thing. And
Shame on
so,
them.
and so, what happens if somebody doesn't have insurance? And I mean, I know you guys are just formulating,
Right.
but these are the questions.
Well, what I'd
that-
like to do, and I'll say
and
it, I have no
people
problem.
come in if they don't have insurance. Are there scholarships? Are
Okay.
there,
So this is what we would like to do. Okay, you know, of course, you know, we're not God, but
Right.
you know, we would like to try different things. But I think there's so much waste with things and companies, and that's why we want to go after the companies. You know, that get their advertising money, like you know, Reebok, Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
whatever, every pair of shoes they sell or something, and we want to try to take a percentage of that. And the ones that can't afford, we want to help. You know, like when I did my financial company, I got a mother and a son that came in. And they built that company, you know, by one house to the other. You know, I said, you know, I helped them. I didn't even charge them. You know, so it's about giving back. You know, then I got that real nasty person that came in. And I said, oh, you got 4 points, no problem, baby. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying, but you know, we want to try to
Develop
one-
partnerships,
ships,
with the
relationships.
community,
That's deep.
relationships.
right.
Look at spheres of influence. Look at your spheres of influence and how we can partner together
And give
to
together,
help and to give back to the community.
work together, a team.
And look at affiliations, partnerships, relationships, because that's what it's really about. And then we
Right.
can help to customize and help you with your intervention, or as a team come up with an intervention where you can feel fulfilled and have a more meaningful life with purpose.
And value ideas
And
and the
value
people. We want to hear
ideas.
from the community.
Yeah, and we
Absolutely.
want to talk to those that are more fortunate than others because Sarasota has the highest percentage of millionaires anywhere out here.
Very,
So,
very
so
philanthropic place.
you guys that are sitting on some of that old money that you never touched and it's just sitting there, it's okay to donate $1, $2, 50 cents, even a penny to be sarcastic about it and be funny with it to help the foundation because they want to help do stuff for people that can't, some that cannot help themselves.
Yeah, and I know, and you know, listen, everyone has a different way of how they believe, and you know, sometimes you know, like you know, my grandmother, she saved her money. You know, she worked hard, and she wouldn't want to spend that money, you know, to make her life at the end better. Oh my God, get $250 for this, or take a cab. You know what I'm saying? And then she passed away, and then you know, but it went to her children, and that was it. And, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't enjoy it. So I believe, like you know, a lot of people that have a lot, they should help, and if they don't, that's sad. You know, and it's not, you know, everyone should do a little bit, even if it's not even money. It's even giving time or getting to know somebody or to making a change.
Anything
It's
that
all
you
about
can
change,
offer to
you
help
know?
in any way.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
That's why what
contact
bothers
with
me,
us.
what I see what goes on in this country, and I see all these celebrities and stuff, and some of them, they come in, they help a little bit, they get back in their
Then
stuff.
they disappear.
Right. You know, like all these groups, you know, it's like, you know, let's make a difference. You know, let's finish it up and keep going.
Yeah, you got to think about it. You know what I mean? And this is not a pat on the back or we sitting there trying to beg people to help. We do want you to reach your consciousness and your conscious level and say, I'm willing to make a difference. You know, and I had some major stars talk to me the other day on the phone, and they was like, well, G-Man, you know, you've been around and you started this situation, and I understand where they was going with it and saying that you have done so much for the world. It's time for the world to do something for you. And I said, no, God got me. I created a culture that thousands of guys, young men and women are out here eating and I done provided for their families without them even realizing. And then maybe they was right by telling me this, that them people should write a check, but not to me. Write a check to the foundation or to your community center or your local access center where you know and you drive by these people every day. Me and Jessica and Jason was riding the other day, and a homeless person came up to us. Remember that?
Yes.
You know, and I didn't understand
downtown
what he
Sarasota.
was saying, you know. I didn't hesitate. I reached and
Right.
I took
Right
care of
away.
him because that's what I would want somebody to do for
Pay
me
it
when, if I
forward,
need
to
help.
pay it
Can-
forward.
Exactly.
Can I say one thing? We're talking because you asked me a couple of questions about, you know, when we talk about addiction, okay, it's not just drug addiction. You know, people have
Right.
food addiction,
Oh, yeah.
gossip,
Sex.
too much sex.
Gambling.
So everyone has a certain kind of addiction. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, how you do it. To say to say you never. It's just how you learn to handle it. And you want to help us. We are donating fabulous land. We want to build a facility. And you know what? We're doing it in Ocala because we have the land. We want to build one here too. If you want to, why we're getting up and running, which we are up and running. We're legal. We've done this before. You know, we're a 501(c)(3). I mean, we did different things besides that of charities, foster kids, and different things. So if you want to donate, you can donate and send your stuff here to
The phone number, here's the phone number.
right,
You don't want to say it.
to
Then call again.
941-986-6657. And if you want to send checks or things or something,
Right.
everything helps. However,
If they don't use the land, I'm telling you now, I'm gonna build my new house on it. So y'all better do something.
well, you can still build
We might be
houses
fighting
for
for
many
that.
people. But
Yeah.
but we want everyone to be able to get what they need and at least try,
Yes.
and get a taste. And it's what you do with it afterwards. It's your choice.
But Tara said it good when she said when you stepped up there, you said building partnerships, right? See, when sometimes you can say relationships with people and you can invite them to do things, but she said partnerships. That means you come with your foundation, you come with your company, you come with your business, you come with yourself, and you create a partnership where you can say, I want to stand in. Maybe you want to be one of the people that help with the events. Because I'm quite sure Jessica need help. I said
Sarah.
she would need help. So if you want to come donate your time, they'll tell you exactly what you can do to help the foundation, to help the upcoming.
Just
events.
introduce yourself.
Hey,
If you want to get
y'all.
involved in any way. Give us a
Hey,
call.
y'all! I live in Texas too, so I got a Texas twang and I got the New York talk, so it comes back and forth.
Yeah.
But we've been down. We've lost it. We've made it. We struggled. So you can't focus on all that. It's every day get up and keep trying.
And
And
when
make
you're
it better.
going up the escalator, always help those that are going down the escalator. Or if you're going down the
Yes, ma'am.
escalator, look up and be supportive of those around you, because it's all about giving back. It's helping your neighbors and looking to the right, to the left, in front of you, and paying it forward. So that's what it's really all about, is partnering with you and supporting the community.
And that's coming from the person that
You
didn't
know,
want
my
to talk.
friend,
She is
I-
just
I have
breaking
a-
it down.
I have a
told
dear,
you,
I
she's
have
a
a dear,
superstar.
we have a dear
The
friend.
whole family are superstars.
Jessica,
Built
let us
the
sit
superstars.
there right there. So
Yeah,
we really
because
get
she-
that.
Right? She
We-
got my seat.
We have a dear friend that is a wonderful person, my friend Ann.
Oh,
Okay?
yes,
Yes.
yes.
And Ann does a lot of foundations, and she's kind of part of my foundation a little bit. You know, she does so many. She, you know, was a lawyer. You know, she's retired, but she's always very
Legal
active.
lady. That's
You know,
what
she has
I
a
call
wonderful, wonderful husband.
Where's the legal
The most
lady?
kindest. You know, he's Cuban. The most kindest man. But you know, she says one day I was at lunch with her. She says, "I have friends of all walks." You know,
it. Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh wow, how beautiful!" You know, like you know, she meets somebody, she talks to them, she gets in the thing, and then this one needed, oh, I need help to get a lawyer for this, or and she'll connect. I can't do this or that, and she's just caring and wonderful.
Very much so. Very
You know, you
much so.
gotta
She's a
ask
very
her-
dear friend of mine, also.
You gotta ask people sometime what is their definition of friend, because some people get the misconception that is a friend just because you hang around me, and no, a definition of a friend is very important. So I've learned recently to really start asking people, what's your definition
And
of
Michael.
friend? See, when I first met
Yes, Scott.
Jason, it was what he told me was he said, G-Man, I'm here to tell you, yeah, we want to do business together, but before we do business, I want to learn how to be your friend. And see, that meant something to me, T-Bone.
Oh yeah.
Because he
Means
said
the world.
he verbally said, before we do business, G-Man, I want to learn to be your friend. See, and then I was like, that's deep, because I don't let a lot of people in my circle. And most of the time you see me, it's either me and one person or me and two people or me by myself, because I don't need an entourage to prove who I am or to make me feel like I'm a man. So, but when you got friends around you, that's you can't ask for more than that, to have friends that
And-
are with you.
I forgot to, is very important, Scott and Michael Anderson, who got me my lovely dog, Cha-Cha.
Oh, I see
She's the
Cha-Cha.
biggest life. We have bulldogs too. They are part of our foundation of raising money. They work on a lot of stuff. They even had me invited to the McGillicuddies, that are wonderful, wonderful people. I went to their foundation, and they do for foster care. And like, we're not stereotyped where we stay at one. We want to get involved too. So we're about everything. Also, I work with Bay Point Schools for putting children in, with Leah and Roy Black, who's #1 criminal attorney. And back in the day, when they had nobody, it was like rehabilitate children instead of putting them in prison.
Mhm.
So we've done a lot of different things. So we're knowledgeable, So
Let's go.
And
we're
tomorrow,
here.
Yeah,
tomorrow,
Jason's very knowledgeable. He amazes me. I'm like, what haven't you done with your life, Jason? He's done so many amazing
and he
things.
says it so
He really
fast. I
has.
think he's doing a rap song sometimes, because he
I
blown
got
off.
so much on my
Because
plate.
there's so
I'm catching
much.
it, though.
But I get it.
Yeah, and then you know what? I checked him out though, and because you can't manipulate me because of my extensive training when the military is concerned and my psychology. You can't. But he says stuff, and the average person will look and they say, if it sounds too good, it usually it's too good to be true. You know that. But when this man is saying stuff, it's really like it is. It's not like he's just talking because he got lips and a mouth. You know what I mean? It's the truth. And we got the military coming in here tomorrow, for this PMI thing. And with your
Which is gonna be part of
blessings,
it.
I really would like for us to have some type of gathering with Captain Dwight Fortune and them when they come in. It's just 3 of them coming in, but I really would like to have a moment where we get to conversate with them, because your foundation with the support from the military,
Mhm.
with what we're doing with PMI would be something. I know God is in it. You know
Well,
what I mean?
there's a lot of synergy here, because I have a company called the Council on Opioid Prevention and Education, and I was telling you about this
Right.
building here. My marketing manager died suspiciously, and so we're naming this our facility the Anne Marie Kennedy Recovery Village, as I said, because we want to have
Right.
offices up front for services and the residential here. So when you come out of your room, you walk into an environment that is all about recovery, and you don't have to jump on a bus and go
Right,
up the
and you
road
have the
and-
support
So,
there.
you got a
Tito,
support system.
So you'll be part of it together.
Well,
with all
that's
us.
Tito.
see, I got
there's
somebody screaming on
Annex
my
over
thing
here.
here saying that you all tell them about this, and I said, well, we've already told you.
Right.
And
So,
there's
and
why
absolute
won't we?
synergy here.
That is
And why won't we be
great.
open?
Well,
because it's
we're
not
gonna
about
Everything
you know,
happens for a reason.
Right,
everything.
We all
right,
come
because
together
we're
for a reason.
open.
I love that.
We're really for the cause and making
Yeah.
it
Is this the
happen.
right number?
No.
You know, but if you
Can
want
you
to
give me
find
the
us
right
on a
number?
Saturday and Sunday,
896.
we'll be at Millie's hanging out with George because they have the best food in this town for breakfast.
Okay.
Because coming from many places.
Or we can be downtown also.
We've had, we,
brunch.
yes, but we've gone to a lot of. Well, I'm not talking all the fancy. Well, George is a real Greek place, but you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
And it rocks. However,
I just want to give a
and
shout
it's
out
clean,
to all
and
our
you know the
friends.
plate's hot, and you know they put sometimes these ads, you know, when the thing in it, and they said, you know, he's always excellent on the money. I said, and one day he got a bad review, and I said, George, why do you got a bad review? He says, you know how it is. I said, but you know, I cannot.
Millie's is original
Right.
Sarasota.
Sarasota.
I remember
Yeah,
going to Millie's when I was a
yeah.
kid.
And
Yeah,
There was
very
someplace
good.
else before they were on the over there on Clark.
They
and
were.
it's
It was
Ha-
smaller,
yes,
and then they-
Harold's,
Yeah.
Harry's is their own.
and then they moved out there.
Yeah, they have a lot of different things.
That was a long time ago.
Here's a
It's-
plug
they-
for Millie.
That's
Hey,
original
Millie,
Sarasota.
Checks in the mail, right?
Which one?
The Pelican.
Hey, we've been actually giving out the wrong numbers because I know that I'm looking over here at the phone. It
Oh.
usually be blowing up. That number, actually, we had the numbers backwards a little bit. It's 941-896-6657. That's 941-896-6657. We apologize for that. So if you got the
And
correct
listen,
number,
we'll do
please
this
call
again.
back.
We'll do
Absolutely.
this again.
Great.
Honestly,
Come
we'll be doing
Thank
this
you.
again, and let's do it on a regular basis because this is
come meet
just
us.
close to my heart.
Yeah,
In
you
the
can
first
actually
place.
you can start meeting us because I've been asked to be a part of the show on a regular basis. That
Yeah,
means
you're
that I
right.
have to have a meeting place. So we're gonna find a location downtown somewhere where once a week our recovery room meeting will be. Maybe a lunch, brunch, or something that we all meet together with the
I
fans.
love it when I don't have to come up with the idea.
Talk about our
Beautiful.
houses that
G-Man's very creative.
Oh wait a minute!
He really
wait a
is.
minute! We got the egotistical, pride-centered Jason snapped out of his home pocket. But all jokes aside, the man is more than creative. I mean, you should see the house that this man built himself. I've seen plenty of houses like the estate we did Sunday at the Siesta Keys thing.
Yeah.
But Jason, I really want you to talk about the houses that you are building, how you get involved with these, how you find these houses, and that house that you got that I'm gonna put in my pocket when I go back over there.
Well, I don't know. You know, we.
Well, that's one of the. He has many
renovations
business
where we do renovations and
entities
build.
under Halo 18.
The most beautiful one I think is the one that we did on 476 Partridge that we just listed for sale. We took it. It's on Bird Key, which is 12 and a half feet, which you have to be. We took it to the studs. There are things from the 18th century. So you think the museum rocks? You haven't seen anything.
Wow.
We're working with the upholstery shop in downtown with those wonderful South Africans that are great over there. That are, you know, they can't do more and more for you. You know, the new owners and that are, you know, I mean, if you go anywhere else, you're crazy because they actually, you know, they're worried about the springs and the padding and the, you know,
Mhm.
and you're working with Colleen at the,
They're always
what
very
is
on
that?
point.
All those fabric shops over at the,
lamps.
and the lamps.
Mhm.
Oh, the lamp lady,
Eloise.
Eloise, we call her, but her name's Louise. She's like 85, 90, and she's like about God. Every church, and she plays her accordion. But she'll come and she'll fix your lamp, and she'll go in the middle of the night, and she'll say, "You got to get here. I can't figure the
All
crystals."
about community.
You know,
You're
but
gonna cut it out, Amy.
Exactly.
You're gonna cut it out.
we have all the great things. But the house is beautiful, and we listed it, and you know, we made it special because we want somebody to take it to that, you know, and live there and enjoy it. And
But that room, you know the room I love, that one that's off the what? He got a room.
it's online. You can go look
Oh
at
my
it.
Are you talking about
You
his
can go to
house?
realtor.com
Oh,
and
the
look at
family
it.
room?
Yes, no. I'm talking about the guy got a bedroom upstairs, and I'm just nobody's in it. But
Oh,
this room,
yeah.
it's like if you walk in there, you feel Barry White in there. It's like you gonna make babies in this room. I guarantee you. It has the overlook of the water. It's like being in Italy. It's like it's one of the most sexiest rooms I've seen down here.
And
You got to see this room.
And let me tell you, like, we're real people. You know, we had it hard in this city. You know, we got burnt out from many contractors. You know, and you know, it's so funny. You know what people told me here in Sarasota? You want to get something done, you know, they'll rip you off to these contractors. But you know what? You want to get something done? Just give them drugs. You'll get work done in 2 days. But you know what? And then I said, oh my God, we have a treatment program.
This
I mean,
is
talk
not,
about
this is not drug pushing.
no. I know. I'm just saying, this is how people
we
spoke.
got about 3 minutes.
All right, so
let's pull it back together.
we'll pull it
Let's
back
talk
together.
about the foundation,
Right.
the name of it, the where it's going to be. Let's pull it all together. G-Man's involvement, and then I got to close it out.
Well, the foundation is going to be up in Ocala, Florida. However, we're
Lear
going to
Educational Foundation.
Lear Educational Foundation. We're going to also have it down here as well. You can go to the website, which is Lear Educational Foundation.
That's Lear Educational Foundation.
And you Google it and you'll see it, and it'll give you up to date. We're building the facility, so we're focusing on raising money. However, the head man from all the churches that donates all the money all over the world has been my friend for 15 years, and he's always wanted to do something with me. And I said, well, I don't have the right thing. I'm going to wait till I have the right thing, and I'm an ordained minister, believe it or not. For $110, you could be one too.
That's that online.
Do we have a projection date? Do we have
no, we don't exactly. We're going to launch a couple events. But we are working very, very fast.
Stay tuned. We will definitely have.
Stay tuned, and they'll be back. Believe me, they'll be back.
The first things are going to be the shows. I think
Okay.
that's what's the first.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what I want to do. G, wrap up. Give me a little closing thoughts on this, so I can do mine. And
Do the
we
hip-hop.
got about 2 minutes.
Well, I tell you like this: each one teach one, and if each one teach one, then each two can reach you. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because we have to come together as one, because we are all Jesus's brides. We're all God's brides, and we have to treat our brides and each other like He teaches the church. You know what I mean? And like He treats the church, and we have to stand with our moral values and say enough is enough. We want to help each other become something more than they think they can be in life, because you are a conqueror.
You can be anything you want to be.
And that leads me into my final little story that I want to tell here. My closing story. A man was sitting at his desk, busy at work, and he had a little baby son there. And the son just wanted his attention. The guy ripped out a piece of paper out of the magazine, right? On that piece of paper was a picture of the world. He tore that paper up into little pieces, gave him some tape, told him to go and sit down and put this world back together. In 2 minutes, that kid was back. The father was like, "Oh my God, how could you put that together so fast?" He said on the. Hit it.
Pause again.
Well, go ahead. And so the guy asked his son, "How did you put that together so quickly?" And the son said, "On the back of that picture of the world,
This is my mother.
on the back of that picture of the world was a man." He said, "I put the man together, and the world came back together." And that's my closing thought. We'll talk to them.
Speaker is on. Caller, can we help you? Now you know that's important. Who is this calling? Can I help you?
This is your wife.
Might be on the call.
That is
Hey,
an
guys,
important
thank
call.
you.
You better have answered that.
We'll see you next time. Love you. Nobody told me they love you today, man. I love you, man. And then
How are you?
in the struggle,
I'm
it ain't
fine.
over, man.
I'm fine. I just got to tell you I love you and I'm proud of you.
We're proud of you too. We
Yes.
Love you too.
You gonna make me cry in here. Stop.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You got to outtake.
Thanks for having us.
I'm gonna call you right back. At the end of the segment, we got you. Thank you.
I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.